Alrighty. I'm always living on the edge, getting ready till the last possible second. Yes. If you haven't met me yet, that's how I am, like on the regular. Good morning, everybody. So who is a morning person? Because I am not. That is the biggest part of the problem. Is that I just had to go get my coffee refilled to make it through. So, yeah, my Dr. Seuss cup because I was a children's librarian for 10 years. Hold that thought. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so hopefully everyone has their face on. Oh yeah, yeah, I could, yeah, don't even get me started, Chris. Hopefully we've all got like our faces moisturized, foundation on, ready to go to some degree, that you're more prepared than I am. No, I have my foundation on at least. Okay, let me just kind of pull some of these things together. And then at the last minute, I thought, most people have some kind of shades of, golds and rose golds and dusty pinks and that kind of thing. So whatever you have in your repertoire, just go ahead and grab it, and you can play along. So, um, and here's the other thing. I don't like to say this out loud because it makes me feel super duper old, but I have cataracts. And I'm hoping that when I get them removed, by some miracle, I'll be able to actually see and not need this, because the problem is that the directions that I need to read are like the tiniest stinking font ever. But obviously, I need my glasses off to put stuff on. So perhaps I'll review before before we start. Oh, hi, Susan. All right, so we are going to blend Dusty Rose into the crease, starting from the outer corner. You don't have to remember this. Then we'll tap Rose Gold all over the eyelid. How beautiful. We will sweep gold dust along the brow bone. Okay. And we will add Moonstone. I don't know if I have that out. We will add Moonstone to highlight the inner corner of the eye. Line the upper and lower lashes with deep brown. All right, so make sure that you've got all of your little samples pulled out, and they've all got cellophane on top, so you need to pull that off. Pardon me while I grab a Moonstone. These are very, very beautiful and popular shades. And what's really fun when we do the 4 eye colors is that we do have that tiny petite palette, and that will, hold 4 eye colors. That's a godsend. Usually, our compacts, because they are meant to last, they're, on the pricey side because they last forever and ever. But the petite palette is only $8 because it's just, small, simple, something that you can throw in your purse, and it holds 4 eye colors. So it's just such a fun and easy thing, just a, minor purchase. And it holds exactly the 4 eye colors that we will use today. Okay, there's that. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm ready. Don't I look snuggly? This like makes me want to hug myself. It is the coziest sweater I've ever owned. Oh, it's just lovely. Hi, Cindy Bose. All right, is Christina with you? Was she able to come? Yes. Oh, Christina and I are here. Yay! Good gumdrops. Okay, so we've got our face prepped. So if anybody's thinking, what did that entail exactly? I moisturized. I did foundation. I did concealer under my eyes. I actually did not do my translucent powder. I usually do that, but I was too busy running to get my coffee. All right, so let's go. Oh gosh, this is the dilemma. All right, let's do. You can either use, whatever brushes you have on hand, or the applicator, the disposable applicator. If you have our current line of brushes, I'm going to say let's use our crease brush to begin. And we are going to find our Dusty Rose. And that is going in our crease. So you want to load up your sponge tip applicator or your brush. And if you don't have this brush, then I would look for like a tapered A blending brush, a tapered crease brush would also do the trick very nicely, I believe. Okay. And then we are doing this in the corner, or not in the corner, in the outer crease. Oh my God, yeah, it's morning. In the crease, starting from the outer corner. This is on my public page, so these people don't all know me as well as you know, whatever. All right. So I'm going to start from the outside in. We're going in the crease, and I would say I would just really kind of feel like where the actual crease of the orbital bone, like where the indentation of the orbital bone is, and just go right in there for now. I wouldn't focus, try to be too fancy pants and try to, get up above. Let's just start like where our actual crease is, but put that first deposit of color. Just, let's see. I'm going to say like my crease, like where like my eye top and bottom starts is like way down here. I don't want to start way down there because the heaviest deposit of color is going to really drag me down. So I'm going to start a little bit higher, but I am going to stay right in my actual crease. So start in a place that is going to flatter your eye, but keep that color in the actual crease, and you can feel where that is by feeling the indentation of your orbital bone. And here we go. Sometimes I just need to do it and talk, right? Oh, don't say that. It'll hurt my feelings. Okay, so see what I'm doing? I'm starting here, other than like here. I'm starting here, and then I'm just following that crease. And once I lay down, that majority of color, then I do tend to kind of feather it up, so to speak. I make up words, I kind of bring that color up because I'm heavy lidded, and I like to kind of push away the heaviness of this flap by bringing color up there, by introducing color that kind of helps to visually push that back. So pretty much anytime I do anything, I'm introducing color up in there. So I'm starting in the actual crease, laying it down, but then I'm bringing kind of like the residual or the leftover color up a bit. Does that make sense? And then we shall do it again on the other side. If you have too much, then you want to tap that off. You tap rather than blow, because when you blow on it, you put moisture in the bristles, and then it's not only not good for the bristles, but it changes, the way that the powder then, lays on your skin. I'll tell you one time that I do like to blow on that. It's when I line under here. I actually like to have a little moisture in there because then I don't get any flakes in my eyeballs. Don't tell anybody. It's probably naughty. Okay. Where am I? That side. What time did I get up? So I didn't even go to bed that late. I got up at 8, so I've been up plenty long. I've been up plenty long. I should be fully awake, but that is just how my body is. Like I'm much more alert at night, even though I'm tired, than I am in the morning, 2 hours being up. It's just, isn't that so interesting how honest and truly there are morning people and there are not. Ugh, man. And I think this has been my theory my whole life. Morning people are usually skinnier. I don't know what's up with that. I think they just have like a quicker metabolism or something because they have all of this like, ooh, energy. Like I don't have that any time of day. I'll have to do like some research on that. Okay. I can tell already that I've got more on one side than the other. And that, it's funny, that always happens to me when I do tutorials, and I think it's because I'm looking kind of sideways instead of like I'm having my mirror straight in front. One of these days I'll figure out how to do like the YouTubers do. They probably have like a really giant desk so that everything is in front. Camera, light, mirror, all that good stuff. But I just don't know that that's my goal in life. Oh, brother. Okay, that is enough of that. So then what does it say? Then tap. That's interesting. Tap or pat is what I usually say. Rose gold all over the eyelid. So how I usually talk about patting the color, your highlight color under your brow, because I want there to be like a nice deposit of that light color. We're using rose gold in that manner. So, and the eyelid is a fairly large area. So I'm going to use the all over eye color brush. So if you have just a general, fairly wide eyeshadow brush or applicator, that's going to work. And rose gold is right here. This is such a pretty color. We had rose gold in a previous line, but it was rose gold, all one word, and it was more of a accent color, really, mid-tone heading toward accent color. It was, darker and almost bronzy. So then when this rose gold came out, I was thinking it was that, and I didn't try it for the longest time. And when I finally did, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous, because this is more like a highlight leaning toward a mid-tone. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So we are going to pat or tap this onto our eyelid proper. So all over the lid. So that's pretty simple. So you want to get it all the way down to your lashes and then blend that up into the area where you had the dusty rose. I always love when we have a simple part. So I'm working with, I've got my giant, I have a big, I'll show you. So I have this palette, which is my everyday palette. And then there's a couple shades that we're using that I don't usually use. So I've got like some samples. So I really have to be on my game to keep track of what color's what. Because I'll tell you, once you put it in your palette, you can't see the name of the color. So you have to really kind of memorize it. It's a challenge. It's more challenging every year. All right, rose gold. Who's loving this? I just think this is, isn't that so pretty? It's just gorgeous. And even though it's a shimmer, which we all know, Michelle avoids shimmers because I don't like anything that emphasizes my fine lines and wrinkles. I use this because it's so dang pretty. And I have used this, you know what I like to use this for is when I finish my whole look, sometimes I'll use my middle finger and kind of put the rose gold, I'll scoop some up on my middle finger, and I'll just tap that in the middle of my lid just for like that little bit of shimmer in the middle. That's what I use it for probably the most. Beauteous. Oh my gosh. All right, now I have to see if I'm even Steven. Hold on. Hold that thought. Pretty good. How about you guys? Everybody doing good? All right, let me see what's everybody saying. What's the scuttlebutt? Okay. Oop, Marion Vladika's watching. Yay! It is so pretty, Chris Ryan, isn't it? I know. I love it. I love it. It's like one of my faves. Okay, so let's see what's happening next. Isn't this fun? I'm sure we're together. I wish we had like muffins or something. Gosh, I love muffins. Sweep gold status along the brow bone. Okay, so these little verbs are key. So sweep gold status. So we're not like tapping or patting gold status on the brow bone. You want to know why? Because gold status is a dark color in terms of highlight. So if you tapped or patted this on there, it would be too much. So we just want kind of a sheer wash of this. So you're looking for gold status. That's the third one. So we started with dusty rose in the middle, rose gold on the lid, and now we're using gold status up top. And what brush do I want to use? I will use the same brush, the same all over eye brush. I'm just going to kind of pat off the extra like on a tissue, because the color difference isn't super, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. All right, so then how shall I say? So I kind of like patted this on my sample. I'm using a sample for this one, tapping it off. But like I didn't like really, rub on that sample to get like a ton of product on here. I'm just being cognizant of the fact that we just want like a sheer wash, okay? And I've noticed that the more I bring my highlight out this way, the droopier this looks. So I've started to focus my highlight color more toward like the first, maybe third to half of my lid, and then kind of let it fade, toward the, not lid, eyelid. Okay, eyebrow. Let me start over. When I do my highlight, because my lid is heavy, I tend to keep it toward the first third to half and then let it fade away because I do not want to emphasize this heavy flap right here. Okay, so usually it becomes more apparent as I do it. So let's see. So I will, go right here under my brow. Gosh, I don't know what is wrong with me. That's what everybody wants to know, right? So I'm just doing like under my brow in this area here. And then really I'm done. But I don't want there to be like a bare spot over here. So I just kind of, will just kind of feather that out a little bit. You can do whatever you want, obviously. I mean, your eyes, not everybody's eyes are shaped the same, but generally speaking, as we age, our eyes become heavier and more lidded. And so that tends to be a very common issue. But if you've got, gorgeous big eyes with lots of real estate, as they say, you can kind of gauge where you want to put it. Anything that is light and shimmery is going to stand out. And when you want to push something back or make it kind of smooth it out or take the emphasis off of it, that's where you want your darker colors to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark, but of the palette that you're using, you want your darker colors to be on the areas you want to kind of push back or lift up or, kind of take the emphasis away from. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Okay, what do I do with it? Okay, I gotta go with glasses. Oh my gosh, I can't, like, what the heck I do with it? Must have fallen. Oh, here it is. There are days when I wonder, like, am I losing my marbles? Like, am I not going to be able to do this much longer because I'm going to the funny farm? I don't know. Okay, so then I'm going over here. Just a little bit over this way. I probably just shouldn't try to do videos earlier than 3 o'clock. That's probably the thing. Okay. And then kind of, fade it over this way a bit. Oh my gosh, that's really, really pretty, isn't it? So you've got the golds and the roses. Very pretty. Ooh la la. Okay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I should be able to just remember what this said, but I'm not going to lie. And then add moonstone to highlight the inner corner of the eye. Okay. Is that what we look like? Oh. Okay, here. I want to show you this. I feel like I was picturing, I thought he meant to just put it like a little dot, like by the tear duct. Let me show you this. Here, let me get off. So, I wonder if I can zoom in. How do I do that? Anyway, can you tell how like this whole third of her eye is lighter than like over here? So I feel like the moonstone must need to go up in this area quite a bit, not just, you know what I'm saying, like not just the tear duct area. So let's do that. So moonstone, that was another one that I needed a sample of. So let's find our moonstone. And we're kind of using that, you know, applying that in a smaller area. So I'm going to use the smaller smudger brush that we have. And the moonstone doesn't use really a, what was the verb? Apply. So that's kind of vague. So I'm using this smaller brush just because I have more control, more precision, you know, where it's going to go because it's a smaller area. And I'm going to do like kind of this first, maybe third of the lid. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it. And then we'll also do the tear duct because that really looks pretty. And I always thought that when you did like a highlight in the tear duct area, it had to be shimmer. But I've seen a lot of instructions where they use a light matte color. So anytime that you want to kind of brighten up your face, add a little bit of pizzazz, just take your lightest color and get something with like a tiny head, load it up and just dot. I'll show you. Okay. So I'm just going to put like a dot, just like right here. And just how the light reflects off of that is just really pretty, flattering. How's everybody doing? That is very nice. And then, because I have all kinds of fancy brushes, I don't know if you do or not, I'm just going to kind of go in and blend the edges. That's something I almost always will blend in the inner area, but I'm careful not to do too much on the outside because I want to keep the concentration of color out there. So I'll show you what I do. Hold that thought. So I'm going to go up in here, make sure that there's no kind of like stray color toward my nose. So I clean that up. Blend everything together in that area. Clean up over here. And then blend that. And then for that outside area, because yeah, it probably is. What is this? That's not what I want. Okay, here it is. It might not be exactly even, or there might be some fallout, which means like the little pieces of powder that come off of your brush. So I take the foundation brush that I had just applied my foundation with, and then I go along the edge like this. And it cleans that up, but it's not making the line too precise. It's not taking any of the color off. And it's moist, so it's not using something that's drying that area. You don't want to be drying the eye area, okay? So I'll swipe underneath, and I'll come up, and then that's how I clean that area up. That's the Michelle Fox technique. I've not seen anybody else use it. It's mine, my exclusive. Okay, so we're ready for cheek color. Everybody, oh no, we're not. We need to do our liner. Whoop. Got ahead of myself. Let's check. I better check comments. See if we have any questions. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm way behind. You guys have tea. That's nice. Yeah. Do you have muffins? Tea's okay. Muffins are better. Okay. So good. Good so far. Everybody's good. Like that it's shimmer. Everything's pretty. I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay. So I'm going to give you some options here. We are supposed to line top and bottom. I always struggled with getting the liner on top really close to my lashes. I've gotten better over time. And if that is a struggle for you, another option instead of, coming from this direction is to line underneath which is actually the water line. And kind of a little trick so that it's not too wet or too messy is to dry that area with a Q-tip first. So I'm going to use that technique just to show you how it's done. So we're going to take the deep brown, right? Deep brown liner that you got in your kit, in your samples. And you can line it how you normally do, or you can kind of watch what I do and try this way. But we're lining top and bottom. I'm going to go all the way across the top and then probably just 2/3 of the way on the bottom. And I'm going to do what's called tight lining. Ouch, if I don't put my eye out. And my eyes are always, they're just really wet in the morning because I have allergies. So if I don't kind of dab off some of that moisture, it's an issue. And let's see. You are basically going, you're instead of lining along the top, you're lining along the bottom. I do tend to like flinch a little bit because I don't do this very often, which is why I'm tethering my eye. And you do have to actually kind of lift your eye up a bit, but you want to do it gently because you don't want to mess up the colors that we just laid down. So there's so much to remember, but you are literally coloring that area that your mom told you not to do when you were a kid. Remember how this was like considered like such a naughty thing, at least when I was in high school. It was like people like to line their water line, and everybody's like, don't do that. You know, you're going to get infected. You're going to get your eye infected. But it's that technique is back. I don't know. And it's, so I don't know if that was a wives' tale or if just the quality of the products was worse back then. I don't know. But it will not get your eye infected. Okay, so I lined it, but I went underneath. And one of the benefits of doing that is it makes you look like you have a lot of lashes because you're going underneath, you're getting super duper close to your lashes, and so it really looks like you just have a ton of closely, grown lashes. Does that make sense? Not really. I don't know. All right, then I'm going to go underneath. And I try not to get a thick line underneath. I used to always get kind of I used to not do it on top, and I did a really thick line underneath. And now when I look at that, I'm like, what was I thinking? Because it does drag your face down. You want everything to pull it up. Every year that passes, you realize how important that is. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. So who's trying this? Who's brave? What brave souls are doing the tight line? And I go back and forth. Like I had a couple weeks where I was doing it with black, and it's very dramatic and it's very noticeable. And at first I was like, "Ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe that's gonna be my signature look." And then I looked at it later and I was like, "That's a bit much. I don't know." Then I was not loving it. So I don't know. It's probably something that I'll just have in my in the toolbox for every now and then, but not every day for sure. And then again, here I'm just doing like maybe 2/3-ish. Try not to have that be too thick. Starting out here, coming in. So how's everybody doing? So here's my spiel about our liners. I've been using them forever, like 20 years, more than that, 30 years. And I remember way back before that when I would try, drugstore liners, that they would either be really waxy and hard, and so they were waterproof and they didn't smudge, but they were so hard to get a smooth line, and it would be like skip, skip, skip. Or if they were really soft and just went on like a dream, you would have it down to here, by lunchtime. And so finding that perfect balance was impossible. But these are that perfect balance. They really are. They are waterproof, smooth. They go on like a dream. They last all day. They don't smudge. I have noticed as I get older and I use more and more eye cream that they did start to not really smudge, but I started to see it travel, is what we call it, where it's not in as precise a line as I laid it down in the morning. And so, what I've done to prevent that is after I line with this, then I will take a really skinny brush and I will go over it with the same shade of eyeshadow, and that is setting it, and that prevents that issue. So that if that's, if you like this kind of liner, but you're having problems with it traveling, you want to set it with powder, okay? So see, I've got so much. I'm like Yoda. I'm makeup Yoda. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take some practice. You guys are trying it. Yes, yes, yes. I know. It's weird, isn't it? And then sometimes you feel like you look a bit like a hoe, but the brown makes it look not quite as crazy. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then when you're done with that, you've got those adorable little you have the little baby mascaras. I have normal. But aren't those so cute? I was panicking for a minute because I thought, do I have enough of those? And then I found a stash. Whew, I was so relieved. This is Ultimate Mascara in black. This is the only one that comes in two shades. This is black or black brown. And this is the formula of mascara that we demo most frequently. It's water resistant, so it will come off, eventually, but it doesn't run, it doesn't smear. It's not waterproof. It's not considered waterproof. We do have a waterproof, but it's not this. It's water resistant. It lengthens and thickens, so it's fairly dramatic. Let's see. You want to start at the base of your lash. I'm going to flip my mirror. Start at the base and kind of wiggle to engage the brush, the bristles, and then bring it all the way to the end of your lashes. And it really, in like one coat, you see a pretty dramatic difference in your lashes. It's pretty cool. And that little, the little sample that I gave you is really more than just a sample for a day. That'll last a few days. Isn't that nice? It does the job. This is my daughter Maddie's favorite. And my lashes underneath are so thin and fine. Matter of fact, you don't have to do mascara underneath. You don't have to do liner underneath. This particular look says to do so, but it's not a have to in real life. But because I lined, I normally, if I lined, then I do the mascara. And because my lashes are just so tiny and fine, I usually hold it vertically like this and just kind of dab at the tip of the lashes, because if I just try to like brush like this, I've got to get product everywhere. So for me, I kind of just do this little maneuver. And if and when, because you probably will, get mascara on your skin, we will just kind of flick that off after it dries. So don't worry about that. This, you can put more than one coat on. You want to let it dry in between. I don't really feel like I ever need more than one coat, but you can do that. Another thing that is popular to do is to do your first coat with a thinner consistency, like a Lash Love, which is more of a natural look, and like it sounds, it's, well, no, it doesn't, okay. There's Lash Love, which is a thinner consistency. It's a more natural look, and the little bristles are like teeny tiny, and so that's great if you've got like really fine lashes. And then there's Lash Love Lengthening, which has a curved wand, and that really takes your lashes all the way to the end, so it emphasizes the length. So what I was going to say is that what I like to do is I do the Lash Love Lengthening. It's a mouthful. I do the Lash Love Lengthening first, which is kind of a thinner coat, so it's real easy to apply. And then I'll put a coat of this on top of that, and then it looks amazing because you've done the first coat is really emphasizing the length, and then this coat is lengthening and thickening and just giving it even more drama. And it's easy to apply this on top of that because that one's at like a thinner consistency. Did that all make sense? Kind of, whatever. And I haven't mentioned this in a while, but when you dip in to get more, you know, people like will go back and forth and back and forth. You know, don't do that. It's funny that that's like our tendency, or like it feels like that's the right thing to do, but you're forcing air in there, so you're actually drying that out even faster. So you don't need to do that. You put it in, you can kind of like swish it a little bit and pull it back out. But if no product is coming out, it's empty. You know, it's dry. You need another one. And you should replace your mascara every 3 months. And I used to think that was really ridiculous, but the more I understand about how bacteria works and the things that are on our eyelashes and things like that, the more I realize, yeah, you need to do that. And I've been clocking how long our mascara lasts. And, you know, I'm very consistent with my mascara. And I ran out in about 3 months. So that's interesting. Okay. Gotta get my bottom lashes. I did see some questions pop up, so I'll check that out in a second. And I'm going to show you my handy dandy flicking off the stuff that we don't want. Oh my gosh, I haven't taken a drink of coffee in so long. That's what's wrong. I was making slurping noises. Sorry. Okay. So when the mascara is dry, you can take either a Q-tip or even a brush, a clean brush like an eyeshadow brush, and just kind of flick off any little stray pieces because it actually hardens, it turns solid. Our tendency is, you know, when we make a mascara mistake, we grab something and start dabbing at it while it's wet, and then we just smear it everywhere, and then it becomes really hard to get rid of, and you wreck even bigger area. But just wait and let it totally dry, and then you can just kind of clean it up by, you know, just flicking it off with something. So I almost always have to do that because these lashes are just so crazy. And then even if it's up on like your, hold on. Pardon me. Even if it's up on like, you got some up here on your eyeshadow, you can even flick it off there. It's really cool. Because like I said, it just goes from something wet to a solid, and you can just like take it off. Okay, let me look at comments, questions, and we're moving on to blush. Do you do lower liner under lashes or on waterline? Excellent question. I do it under the lashes, but you can do waterline. And I'm trying to think if the tutorials that I've seen on waterline show it both ways. Probably. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? So that it's more consistent looking. I think yes. I think yes. I think that if you're doing waterline above, that you would do the same technique underneath. And I did not do that because I don't do that very often. And I think too, it depends on your reason for doing the tight line. And sometimes I'll do the tight line on top in black, and my biggest reason is to just really look like I have a ton of lashes. Like maybe I'll do that when I'm going to wear false lashes. And then I'll do underneath with a liner in the traditional way where it goes under my lashes, because I don't always like the look of the tight line. For me, like I said, my eyes are really watery. And so sometimes what happens is as the day goes on, the product that is on my waterline will eventually kind of start floating around in my eyes. I hate to say it. And so here's the deal. Like our products are safe for the eye area, so it's not going to cause a problem. Like I'm not going to go blind or anything, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. So that's why I really don't do it that often. But most people don't have that issue. So I don't know. It's just, I think it's because I have allergies. But to answer your question, yes, I think you're right. Good point. If you're going to tight line on top, you tight line the bottom. So I should have done that. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to do the Rosy Nude blush. I would say this is the most popular blush that I carry that we sell. So it's just a really natural kind of middle of the road look. You know, not too bright, not too dark. And our amazing cheek color brush, love it, love it, love it. Does so many things. We just want to use the flat end of it, the flat side of it. And we're just going to load that up. And the latest and greatest thought on cheek color application is to focus on the apples of your cheeks. And then in addition to that, what I've heard is to also kind of come from above, because when we're smiling, to create these apples and then we let that smile go, if we just go dead center, when we relax our face, you know, that really like goes down. So, but if we kind of come from above, that when we relax our face, it still stays high. So like I have said many times, we want, you know, up, up. So I have been focusing more coming from above. So like where I used to just go like straight at it, now I kind of come like here. You know, is it life or death? No, but I just anytime I hear a little tidbit that is going to help lift, I'm all over that. So let's try it. And yes, that looks a little Raggedy Ann right now, but I'm gonna fix it. Okay. So we're gonna just put that, you know, right on the apples of our cheeks, coming from above, kind of high. Okay. And then that's where our deposit of color is now. So that's different. Usually I'm talking about your deposit of color being out here, but today is here for the cheeks. And then we fan that out toward the hairline. And I think the pH in my skin must turn pink things orange, because I feel like this does look kind of orangey on me a little bit. I think the cheek colors that look best on me are usually like a wine color, like a berry. They seem to stay in the cool family. Okay, so then I'm just following my cheekbone toward my hairline. And if you've got contour and highlight and all that fun stuff, then you can follow up with that. But this particular look just has the cheek color. And I don't like to have my cheek color too close to my nose. I like to have, you know, an area that's cheek color free. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but if I feel like I went in too far, I will take like some powder, some loose powder, pressed powder, mineral powder, whatever, and kind of clean this up in here. I just feel like I want to see, you know, this is where my cheeks are. I don't want it to feel like it's just kind of slapped all over willy-nilly. I think because I don't have super defined cheekbones, you know, by nature, so I want to make sure that my color application is helping to define them. That's what's so awesome about color, is that you can pretend you have things you really don't have. Looks like I need some Dusty Nude blush. Yes, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. Okay, let's see. Boy, I shouldn't push buttons because all heck breaks loose. Okay, so then I gotta show you this too. I always take a big fluffy brush at this point, and I do kind of I like this edge to be soft, even though that's where the concentration of color is. I also don't want it to look uh, obvious, you know what I mean? I don't know. Half the time, I don't know if I sound like I make any sense. You know, this is where the most color is, but at the same time, I don't want somebody looking like, okay, you can see exactly that she took a brush and she went boom, you know, there's her cheek color. You know, I always want things to kind of blend and look smooth and look, you know, like a watercolor. I want to look like fine art hanging in a museum. Now I'm just getting silly. Okay. And okay, so I have some explaining to do about this too. As you can see, I can't see. And as I was packing up the samples, two of you got nude blush instead of pink ballerina. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I could have sworn I had pink ballerina in my hand. And then after I had, you know, delivered and mailed and all this, I looked at my samples and I thought, why do I still have, you know, X number of pink ballerina if I sent out that many? And then I'm like looking at everything and then I was missing a couple of the nude blush and I'm like, oh my gosh. So they're similar. Nude blush is really, really pretty. I would say it's one of my best selling. It's obviously very subtle, very, very natural, but it has a cool pink, you know, hint to it. Pink ballerina is pink. So there is a difference, and I do apologize because this look is meant to be pink. So take a look because it'll be on the back. This, if anyone from Mary Kay Corporate is watching, which I know they're not, but the name of the lip gloss is on the back. So most people, when you peel this off, you take that back off and chuck it. So then, when you decide that you love it and you want to order it, you have no way of knowing what the name of the lip gloss is. And we both my customer and myself, are frustrated by that. It used to be on the front. It used to say on the front what the name was. So I'm guessing that somehow it's more cost, you know, efficient for it to be on the back, but I don't like it. So we need to change that. So anyway, so that's how you'll know which one you have. I'm going to use, where did I put it? A brush to apply this because that's how you're doing it. I should show you that. I'll show you at the end. The applicator for our lip gloss is so stinking cool. Do I have one nearby? I'll show you. Okay, so you've got that cool doe foot applicator, and because I wanted to be like you, I grabbed a little brush. We don't currently have like a lip color brush per se in our line. We have a cream eye color concealer brush that some people use to apply lipstick and lip gloss. But this is a Mary Kay, but it's from like, I think I had it in college, so that's pretty old. So go ahead and put your pink ballerina on, or what have you. And I normally do not care for pinks on me, but this is a really fun and pretty and easy to wear pink. And it's been super duper popular. And if you haven't tried our lip gloss yet, if this is your first time, isn't it amazing? It's you know, it's not sticky or tacky. It just feels good. It smells good. Tastes good. It's just super. It's super wonderful. And it lasts. That's one thing that I really noticed. Um, there's some dark ones that I was taking pictures of, and I wanted, you know, it to look really dramatic, and so I put a ton of it on. And so like that, you know, that look doesn't last. Like where you have like just like a ton of it on, like the really dark colors. But anyway, but like the wash of color lasts for hours and hours and hours. So if you're happy with that, you're good. If you want like that really bold, like boom, then you're gonna have to refresh it, you know, probably every couple hours. Okay, is that pretty or is that pretty? Okay, let me do this. Everybody has to fluff their hair now. So, oh my gosh, I will post the picture, the PDF, and a picture of it because we've got. Let me think. So we've got a picture of this look, but I'll post the PDF so it's easier for you to print because then that has the instructions like where we put each color so that whether you have these colors exactly or you know have something similar, you can repeat this look. And so isn't this so pretty? All right, I gotta see what you're saying. Because if we were together in real life, we could all be looking at each other saying, "Oh my gosh, it looks so good on you." I miss that so much. I can't wait till this is all over. Let's see. We love it. We need two pink ballerinas. I know it's gorgeous. I know. It's it's so pretty. And really, I don't think that this monitor is doing it justice because it looks really it looks nude when I'm looking at in the monitor, but in real life it's more pink. So anyway, it's gorgeous. And I'm hoping everybody um, is caught up and feels good. I'm seeing just comments right now from Cindy. Where did Chris and Susan go? Marianne. So anyway, that was so fun. And like I said, it's what I think part of what is so cool about these looks is that really they're affordable, you know, and you can kind of piecemeal it together too. You don't have to get all of it at once. So if there's any part of this that you're interested in, contact me. We can work something out. But I feel pretty. So we now it's what's the weather like? That's the thing. It's like now I would be willing to even go shopping just to get out of the house, but the weather's been so bad that I don't even want to do that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. That was fun. Now I want to do this on the regular but just probably not this early. And they all said, "Amen." So anyway, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments. You guys are the best. And enjoy your day because you look gorgeous. So that is it. If you want to contact me about any of these products, go ahead. But otherwise, you're dismissed. Thanks so much. Bye.